Welcome back to the deep dive, everyone. Today we are going to Milan. Buckle up.
Yeah, virtually, of course, to Salone del Mobile 2025. It's basically the Super Bowl of the furniture design world.
Okay, so much energy there. And, we always like to have a guide in these situations, so we are tapping into the first-hand account of Sunbin Chi, the CEO of ASKT Furniture. He was boots on the ground for day one.
Right. Think of this deep dive as your backstage pass.
I like that.
We are going to dissect those key takeaways and trends that are emerging that, will shape the future of furniture design.
And also going a little bit beyond just simple aesthetics.
Oh,
Right?
absolutely.
That part.
We're here to equip you with the knowledge to really make informed decisions and stay ahead of the curve. Consider it a time-saving shortcut to becoming a design guru. Well, at least well-informed.
Sounds like a plan. Let's kick things off with Euroluce. It's a huge part of Salone, and it's back after a break, I believe.
It is. Over 300 brands, 25 countries, all showcasing the latest and greatest in lighting. It's massive.
So Sunbin Chi was there, and he was kind of remarking on just the sheer scale of it all.
Yeah. It's not just about the numbers, though.
Mhm.
There's a definite shift happening at Euroluce this year. It's moving beyond just, the lighting fixtures themselves and going deeper into how light interacts with our lives.
Okay. So almost like the functionality is being prioritized.
It's about considering light as an integral part of the design process rather than just an afterthought. It's exciting, actually.
And speaking of diving deeper, we've got the Euroluce International Lighting Forum, curated by Annalisa Rosso with APL. Sunbin Chi mentioned some pretty interesting topics that were being discussed there.
Oh, yeah. This is where things get super interesting. We're seeing conversations around solar design, super practical, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then also things like plant neurobiology.
Plant neurobiology, what?
Yeah, it sounds out there, but think about it. How do plants perceive light? How can we use that understanding in furniture design?
Wow, that's a really interesting question. I've never even considered that.
Right. And that's precisely the kind of aha moment Sunbin Key's observations are sparking. He's asking, are furniture makers really maximizing the relationship between light and the materials they use? It's a whole new layer of design thinking.
Right, it's about the interplay of elements. Okay, so outside the main fairgrounds, we've got some cultural installations popping up around Milan. Sunbin Chi went to a few and had some interesting takeaways. There's Devlins Library of Light at the Pinacoteca di Brera, an 18-meter rotating cylinder, basically like a spaceship landed in a courtyard.
No. Talk about contrast, right?
Yeah.
You've got this ultra-modern structure housing a library dedicated to an 18th century mathematician, Maria Gaetana Agnesi.
Really interesting juxtaposition there. It sounds like a thought-provoking experience for sure.
Exactly. And Sunbin Chi picked up on that. He talks about how design evokes emotion. It's not just about problem solving. It's about making you feel something. And then there was Robert Wilson's mother at the Sforzesco Castle. Really powerful tribute to Michelangelo's unfinished Rondinini Pieta, paired with music from Arvo Part.
Wow, okay. Heavy hitters. So it's like these installations are telling a story. They're adding another dimension to Salone, right?
Exactly. Salone del Mobile is not just a furniture fair. It's a cultural phenomenon. It's a reflection of where we are as a society, how we live, how we feel, and how design shapes all of that.
And that's what makes it so fascinating, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so another thing Sunbin Chi pointed out, and I'm sure many others did too, it's a trend we've been watching, but it seems to be really picking up steam. And that's the merging of fashion and furniture.
Oh, yeah. Huge presence this year. Big fashion brands are stepping into the furniture world, bringing their aesthetics, their craftsmanship, their whole vibe,
Yeah, like Jil Sander with Thonet, right?
Yeah.
They're reviving those classic tubular steel designs from Marcel Breuer.
He was really drawn to that collection. He described it as minimalist, intentional, a quiet confidence, very much in line with both Jil Sander and Thonet's DNA. And then you have Lale going in a completely different direction with their teapots exhibition.
Oh, yes. I saw pictures of those online. They look playful, whimsical.
Totally. But Sunbin Key's point is that these teapots are more than just objects. They tell stories, little sculptures of culture and tradition.
Interesting how they're elevating those everyday items into art pieces.
Exactly. It's about imbuing objects with meaning. Right?
Yeah. It's really interesting to see these fashion houses coming into the furniture space with such different perspectives. It's definitely shaking things up. And then, of course, we have to talk about the emerging talent at Salone.
Always a highlight, right? Fresh ideas, pushing
Yeah.
boundaries, shaping the future.
Exactly. Sunbin Chi was really impressed by Boon Editions XAND, digital art meets sculpture, set in an old bank. What a cool concept.
Right. It's like they're taking this historical space
Yeah.
and injecting it with this fresh energy. It's a statement about how the new generation is blending the lines between different art forms and mediums.
Really cool. And then there's Studio, right? Now based in Moscow, they're all about clean, pure forms. Simplicity done really well.
Yes. And in a world that's so visually overloaded, there's something really powerful about that pared back aesthetic. Key was very into it.
So I'm curious, as we sort of zoom out and look at the bigger picture here, were there any like overarching themes or conversations that Sun Bin Chi was picking up on, like things that are kind of shaping the direction of the industry as a whole?
Yeah, absolutely. Three big themes that kept coming up. First and foremost, sustainability.
Right. It's been a big topic for a while now, but it sounds like the conversation's getting even more sophisticated.
Much more. It's not just about the materials anymore. It's about the entire life cycle of a product, from how it's made to what happens to it at the end of its life. Circularity, packaging, ethical production, all of it. Sun Bin Chi was saying that buyers are really starting to ask the hard questions. Where did this material come from? What's going to happen to it when I'm done with it?
Yeah, it's that transparency and responsibility. Okay, so that's sustainability. What's the next big theme?
Tech integration. But again, we're seeing a shift here. It's not just about adding tech features to furniture for the sake of it. It's about using tech thoughtfully to actually enhance our lives.
So like smart furniture, that actually makes sense.
Exactly. We're seeing digital art being incorporated into design, AI informing design decisions and furniture that really adapts to our needs. Sun Bin Chi calls it thinking smart, and I think that sums it up perfectly. It's about seamless integration.
Right. So it's not just about having a USB port on a sofa. It's about having a sofa that anticipates your needs, adjusts to your preferences,
Yeah. And the third big theme, and this kind of ties back to what we were talking about earlier, is cross-industry creativity. The lines between fashion, art, design, technology, they're all blurring, and that's resulting in some really interesting collaborations and innovations.
Yeah, the fashion houses moving into furniture are a perfect example of that.
Totally. And it's not just fashion. We're seeing designers from all sorts of disciplines coming together, and I think it's really pushing the boundaries of what's possible in furniture design.
Makes sense. So I'm really curious to hear more about those drafting futures conversations that Sun Bin Chi attended. It sounds like they were really focused on the future of the industry.
Yeah. Some serious brain power in those rooms. Big names like Bjarke Ingels and Leslie Loco, they are tackling some big questions. How are business models changing? How do we navigate the complexities of global logistics? And what's the role of cultural responsibility in the furniture industry?
Wow. Okay. Getting real deep here. Those are the kinds of conversations that can really shape the industry long term.
Exactly. And then on a more concrete level, Sun Bin Chi also shared some highlights from specific exhibitors that stood out to him.
Oh, yeah. Let's get into that.
Okay, so Mui, always pushing boundaries,
Yeah.
right? Nicholas Baker's new designs were a big hit, apparently, really pushing the limits of what furniture can be. And then Aqua Creations. Their Metropolitan collection seems to be capturing that urban elegance vibe, especially popular with their German clients, from what I'm hearing.
Okay. And who else?
And Las Casas, they debuted a new brand identity, and their Essence collection is all about striking that balance between classic and contemporary. Really beautiful pieces.
So I'm hearing that they're updating but not losing that classic touch. Okay, so a lot to unpack here. I'd love to hear Sun Bin Chi's overall takeaway from his first day at Salone del Mobile. What's he thinking about?
Well, his main point is that design is expanding. It's going beyond just the object itself, the chair, the table, the lamp, It's about the story, the system, the solution it provides.
Right, it's that holistic approach that we were talking about.
Exactly. And his big question is the industry keeping up? Are we adapting to these new demands? Because buyers are looking for more than just a product. They're looking for sustainability, they're looking for technology that makes their lives better, and they're looking for meaning.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see how ASKT, Sun Bin Chi's company, is responding to all of this. They're really stepping up their quality control, reducing plastic in their packaging. It's clear they're taking these new expectations seriously.
They are, and I think that's key. The furniture industry can't afford to be complacent. The world is changing, consumer demands are changing, and we need to change with it.
Okay, so a whirlwind tour of Salone del Mobile through the eyes of Sun Bin Chi. We've covered a lot of ground: light and its impact on design, the cultural significance of Salone, fashion's influence on furniture, those up-and-coming designers to watch, and those big themes that are shaping the future. Sustainability, tech integration, cross-industry creativity. Whew, That's a lot.
It is, but I think it's a really valuable snapshot of where the industry is at right now. There's so much happening and so much to be excited about.
Absolutely. So I want to leave our listeners with a question. As you process all of this, what resonates most with you? What excites you? What concerns you? How do you see these trends playing out in your own world, whether you're a designer, a maker, a retailer, or just someone who's passionate about furniture and design? Think about it, do some research, and let us know.
This is just the beginning of the conversation, really.
Yeah.
Salone del Mobile is still going strong, so keep your eyes peeled for more insights and inspiration. We'll be back next week with another deep dive. Until then, happy designing.
Happy designing.